Well, hello and welcome back to another video. I'm doing a little bit of seed sowing. This is very late and this might not work, but as I try and say in gardening, it's all about experimenting. Sometimes things come off, sometimes they don't. I tried this last year and it seemed to work okay then. I'm going to set some of the last seeds of the year. I haven't this year because of the hot weather and this greenhouse. I mean, even today, and it's cloudy and it's a lot cooler. It's 28.4 in here. It's been an exceptional summer in the UK, as I'm sure you've all probably enjoyed or not enjoyed, whatever if you like the warm weather. I have to say it's been a wonderful summer, really. Apart from the tremendous water shortage, we haven't had enough rain. But winter comes all but too quickly and is here a long while, isn't it? The long days, the cold days. Yeah, this year I haven't grown any pansies or polyanthus from seed, purely the fact that it's been too hot. Seeds, particularly polyanthus seeds, any of the primula family, a lot of people actually even put them in the fridge before they put them in their compost and try and get them to germinate. They don't like it too warm. Pansies are okayish. They're very much like an annual plant, but no, it's just been too warm. I have got a very good deal. I had a credit with an online company, so just putting a little bit of extra to that, I managed to get some plug plants for the spring bedding, which will when those come, we'll have a look and see. It's a long while since I've had any pansy and polyanthus plug plants, and we'll see what they're like. And I'll show you that and what I'm going to do with them. But no, these are very old seeds I've got here. I don't know whether they're dated. I haven't got any glasses, so probably shouldn't see on them. But I'm going to set some wallflower plants. These were left behind from when I used to have an allotment, or 3 allotments. And I mean, the normal way with wallflowers is you get a nice seed bed outside on your garden, a nice rake down, fine little bit of garden, and you set your wallflowers there and let them grow on, and then when they're ready, thin them out, much like carrots or any vegetables really. You basically do treat them. In fact, would you believe wallflowers are a brassica? So if your garden suffers from clubroot, or where you've had brassicas, don't grow wallflowers really. So yeah, I haven't got any spare garden to do that, to get a seed bed. So what I'm going to do, and I did it last year, is put them in some seed trays and compost and grow them on that way. It's very late. I don't know whether this is going to work. I'm thinking middle of August now. I've got the rest of August to get them germinated, and then I've got 2 months, September and October, to grow them on. Don't know what the weather's going to be like, so it's a bit of a lottery. And then, I would probably set them out early November. So I'll have a go anyway. So just like normal annual seed sowing, very simple. It's just a matter of they're not a particularly. You'll see that they're not too small, but they're not big seeds. Can you? I don't know, that's probably better. So it's just really a question of just I like to just tap the little packet and just watch them as they fall out, and just run over the seed tray like that. As these are quite old seeds, I shall probably, this compost has been well watered and just firmed down with a block of wood over it, just to make it not too hard but sort of firmish. I probably will get a fine watering can rose and just water these seeds before I slightly just cover them, very slightly, with a little bit of vermiculite again. In fact, I think I've got 2 packets here. These are Wallflower Monarch Fair Lady. Quite a nice variety, very old-fashioned plant, but good spring colour. In fact, you get little bits of flower on wallflowers, you know, sometimes even in February and March and April and on into May. So I think actually I've got enough just in this one packet, keeping them quite thin, because although I shall probably have to transplant these before I set them out, either into individual pots, which is a bit excessive, or into another tray. So I'm just going to do the 2 trays quite sparsely. This one is more sparse, and although they still keep coming, is it? For a modern packet of seeds, there seems a good deal of seeds in this packet. So there we go. So as I say, we'll just give these seeds just a very light little, just like that, just a little, just to wet the seeds there, because they're very, very dry. And this compost is recycled compost, and although I quite like it, I'm getting used to it. I do find it's very, very, I mean, you can see the twigs and things you get in it. It is very, very free draining. So the watering is quite, you know, probably a little more critical than the older peat-based compost that was very water retentive. And then, as I say, what I do, you could sieve a little bit of compost on top, but I just put a little bit of this horticultural vermiculite, which is this mica base, which, as I said before, I think it is formed from mica rock, unbelievably, but it's very light. It won't hurt the germination. A lot of seeds do like just a little bit of coverage over them, really to keep them, you know, the light out, and just to trigger that germination. And these should really, in this sort of temperatures we're still having, so it's 28.7 in here as I look at the thermometer, these should easily germinate within a week. And that's fine. That's just the seeds very loosely covered over there. And then I will just again, as that vermiculite has got very, very dry over the summer, being in this heat to the greenhouse, just give it a little bit of a damping down there. I think I could do with a new rose on that can, couldn't I? And we'll let them sit there. And what I might do is just find a few little bits of my horticultural glass, or I've got some of the more acrylic safety plastic as well, and we can just slip that over until we get germination, and that just there again, that just tends to retain the moisture in the seed trays a little bit. But obviously if we watch that, if it gets really hot, as I've clipped the hedge at the back of the greenhouse now, so the sun is really coming in here in the mornings, so I might just throw a little bit of horticultural fleece either on the roof or on this glass if it gets too warm. You know, seeds don't like it ridiculously hot. So yeah, we will follow those through and see what we get. If we get any wallflowers that are big enough to set out, you know, in early November, say. And if we get a germination even, because these are very old seeds. So just to end with, I thought I would show you some very attractive dwarf sunflowers that I've grown from seed. I was given these seeds very late on, right into May. I set these seeds in May in the greenhouse, and they obviously sunflowers germinate very easily and very quickly, and they came up, but I wasn't sure, you know, whether they would. I was too late really. It did say between sort of end of February to end of April, and I nearly set them sort of, it was well into mid-May when I set these, but they are really lovely. These have got slightly, these are in a tub, and these are in a large tub. There again, just a basic plastic recycled tub. They have got as you see, I've got some string around them because they've got a little bit drawn up because they're under a holly tree, obviously, which doesn't help them, but they are lovely flowers. And this is a variety called Little Dorrit, and well worth growing. They should be, I mean, these are about, I would think, 3 foot. They should normally be between, around about the maximum height of growing is about 2.5 foot. So I don't suppose that they're that, badly drawn up, but beautiful flowers. And these have been out, a couple of weeks now, and I'm finding the bees absolutely love them. Having said that, there's none on them at the moment, but yeah, a real super plant, very on trend. I think a lot of people like these. If you've got a big garden and like a big veg garden, and you've got some space, you could grow a row of these, and they make wonderful picking flowers, to put them in a jug of water inside, because they do last quite some time. So that would be a super way, and they'd look brilliant, wouldn't they, if you got a border, a nice clear border with some room, and you could have a big clump of them. So there we go, that's Sunflower Little Dorrit, very easy to grow, grown from seed, and as I say, these were set right in the middle of May. So certainly one to think about for next year if you like sunflowers, and they are so cheerful. The mornings recently, although they've not been cold, have been grey, and it kind of fits in with the rest of my very yellow looking bright garden at the moment in time. Many thanks to all the new subscribers, and we have got quite a few, and that's brilliant. Thank you ever so much, I really do appreciate that. And as always, thanks for people for watching for my very basic little gardening videos of basically daily life and what I do and get up to in the garden here, albeit very a small garden. But I do find, there's still a great buzz for me from growing plants from seed, as I like to do, and I think it's something, a lot more of us could do and get a lot of enjoyment from doing it. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Please do think about liking this video and subscribing, really do appreciate it, and I'll catch up with you really soon with another video. Until then, good gardening and my best wishes.